Your German's coming on well, isn't it?
My German's very good. Well, actually, Hendriksen.
Is that not like Danish or Swedish?
Well,
or
you'd think
Norwegian?
so, but I think it does go down into Germany because it's Heinrich. Heinrich is, I think, Henry in German. Heinrich, and then
Son of Henry.
Son of Henry.
Yeah, I remember this little story.
Yeah, remember all that?
Yeah.
I've told it a few times.
Only about 4,000.
Since the show started, we've got better and better at dancing.
Comments below.
Could you imagine how good we would have been if we were like 17, 18 nights out, or like dancing like that?
Think how successful we would have been.
We would have been super successful.
Our faces and our dance moves. Kind of
amazing.
couldn't you?
And your fame now.
Our lack of fame. Oh dear.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday morning show. Good morning, Leicester.
Morning, Dan.
How are we?
Very good, sir.
Cold.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't complain because we live in the English Riviera, but there are some people in the UK right now that are in some seriously deep snow.
We generally don't see much snow down unless you drive to sort of onto the moors.
Yeah.
But there was I mean, it's not really set in here, but there was evidence that there had been a bit of snow overnight.
There was
and
snow.
it was freezing.
Yeah, and there was snow this week. There was snow on as I was driving out of the house. There was snow all down the road, so it's quite nice. The kids loved it.
I'm a little bit higher up and closer to the sea, so I don't really see it up here.
You're in the proper English Riviera, aren't you?
Yeah.
Torquay.
Posh side of Torquay.
Posh side. So another busy week. Well, I would say busy week. It's a busy week on the channel to a degree. Yep. We've had a few of the videos that have come out. One of which I want to talk about today. So I want to lead on. There's a lead-on question that's come from it, which I think will go down quite well. But yeah, I think those certainly the little tutorial ones. I think people can take little snippets from them and get hopefully a better understanding of maybe how they top the ball when we did that video, and then obviously managing ball flight and things like that. I think those are always quite good. And we have Pete Finch on the live show.
Yeah.
Always nice to catch up with him.
Isn't he?
It's always good value. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, and hopefully we'll do a little bit with him again for this year. I think hopefully with the ties that we've got with FootJoy and the ties that we've got possibly with Bushnell, that maybe we'll get together and get something done as well. Be quite good.
What do you think about the pros being allowed to use distance finders, range finders, lasers on tour now?
Well, like I said in the live show, I said that for me, the guys, got to remember, the guys are used to using that product.
Yeah. So
they use it in all their practice rounds, the caddies always use it in those, and the books that these guys have anyway are like, they're so much better than what you would get on your just like the ones we have in the shop and the stroke savery kind of ones. You know, that they're really, really detailed, they're in meters, they're in yards, they can have it however they want it. And to a degree, I mean, they've even got the sloping charts on them, you know. So there's a lot of information that goes into this book. So do I think they're going to save time? Probably not.
No.
You're going to get probably, you know, both the pro and the caddy zapping, getting a yardage. It's more when they go way offline. What were you laughing at?
When I gave you the wrong yardage in France.
Right, I'm going hybrid. 235 yards, Leicester's called. Going to get this on the front edge and let it run down, I think.
Oh, he's here now.
Good down, isn't it?
Dan is here now. Long. Over the back.
Are you sure you zapped that right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's over the back, that, Dan.
235. It landed about 235. It just kicked massively forward. Would you carry that normally?
About 205. Apologise on camera to everybody.
I called the wrong yardage. I was using Dan's Bushnell, which was giving me two different distances. To be honest, I'm tired and
you've hit the
hot.
trees at the back.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Yeah, no, you did. It's 235 yards
and then,
to the trees in the back.
And then you hit the trees at the back.
And it's gone into the trees at the back.
And then you did the same. Oh.
So you could be back in this hole now.
Genuine mistake. I'm on the hole.
I had forgotten about that, but you brought that back, and I thought I handled that quite well.
Yeah, we retired though, weren't we?
That was.
I nicked the hole off you as well.
Yeah, I know you did. But you weren't even in the hole.
No.
You weren't even in the hole. Like, you came out of nowhere. You played a remarkable shot into the top tip.
Two tops, and then I think I hit like a mid-iron into about 5 foot hold of a birdie.
Little draw. Perfect shot.
Oh, I've done the same thing.
Shot late.
That is tired.
Oh my goodness.
That is a tired swing.
Ooh.
Well out.
That's it, that tree there.
I'll come back on the middle of the fairway.
Oh, is it? You're out in the middle of the fairway,
Yeah.
Oh, I got whacked with a divot then.
Right.
Good shot, that. Yeah.
Massive bounce.
Is it? That, Benny, that's a great shot.
That's it.
That is literally stone dead.
Is it?
Yeah. Literally stone dead. You are back in this game.
It's the biggest divot in the world.
It landed on me back here. Yes.
Oh, Lester Barnes.
I feel bad about that.
Lester Barnes.
I've given him the complete wrong yardage from back there.
Good.
It's a good job I didn't quite catch it because it would have definitely gone in the back hedge. But I think going back to that is when they go way offline.
Yeah.
That's where you'll see them be able to pick up maybe the pace a little bit. You think about that time when, as I talked about speed,
yeah,
you know, about him being way offline out in the driving range of the Open.
Yeah.
You know, he's got no line. All he could have done was zap the top of the mound, run up to the top of the mound, zap it in, and work it back from there. I mean, you know, we do that. You know, if I'm in a bad position, I'll maybe run to a point where I'll zap the flag, I'll turn around and zap my bag. And then I just bring the yardage together and I'm done. So it will help probably from that point of view. And don't get me wrong, these guys do go offline a lot. Like, they do go offline, so there will be situations where they are picking up the pace of play because of it. So we'll see. I think also as well, we'll only see when we actually see it unfold in an event.
Yeah.
But I don't see that we will notice it.
Do you think a few of the caddies are a bit concerned?
No, I think they'll always be there, won't they? Because the caddies bring so much more than just yardages, don't they? You know, they keep the control. They manage the player a little bit better.
Yeah,
they
I guess. But I mean, there's quite a few of the older pros now. Their caddy is mainly a bag carrier and handling and cleaning the clubs. They don't give them yardages. I mean, didn't Westwood have his girlfriend caddying for a bit, or his wife, whatever.
The one concern is more maybe the Champions Tour or the Seniors Tour, where they're in buggies. You know, so they're in a buggy, and now they've got their own yardages. Like, you probably argue they don't really need a caddy now.
No.
On the Champions Tour, because they're all flying around in buggies on that one. It's a great tour to get on that.
Yeah. Just a buggy, we buggy it around anyway.
Yeah, you can have a buggy on the bus tour.
The only difference is they play better golf and earn money, like decent money. Yeah.
Not beer and nuts.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Right, before we move on, and because I don't want you to miss this, because you have missed birthday shout-outs in the past. Yeah. So let's get this sorted now so we don't miss it.
Okay, so we don't want to mention the guys' names. We don't like to plug any other channels. We were very selfish, so we won't mention whose channel. Should we mention the name of the person or not? Shall we?
Well, his name's Paul.
So I've had a message from Sharon Jackson, who is Paul's wife.
Paul Jackson. Hello, Paul. Hello, Sharon.
So Paul apparently is a massive fan of us. I didn't know that.
I know he's a massive fan because he's made his own Sunday morning show.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Have you not seen that?
No.
Oh, he did. It was a really good.
I liked his impressions of us.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
And he did his own Sunday morning show and did the impressions, which would have taken him quite a while, longer than what we do.
Yeah, and he's purchased a bit of merch off us, so.
Good
I read out the whole email because it's quite funny, I think.
Yeah.
Hi Lester, hope I got the correct address for you and you received this email. My apologies if this is the wrong department. What's the only department we've got, isn't it?
We've only got one department, yeah.
My husband is a big fan of yourself and Daniel, and always speaks highly of you both. He obviously doesn't know us.
Daniel as well, love it.
That's when you get told off.
I'm in trouble generally with Daniel.
I was just wondering if it would be possible to give him a shout out on your Sunday show. His name is Paul Jackson and he turns 51 this weekend on St Valentine's Day. He has a small YouTube channel of his own, aptly named Paul Jackson Golf.
Go out and check it out, everybody. Paul Jackson Golf.
And then in brackets, I hope he hasn't upset you in the past with some of his videos. He still hasn't grown up yet.
I don't think he's upset us. He's upset Lee. He's
Yeah.
upset Lee once or twice.
Many thanks, Sharon.
Lovely, Sharon.
So we're not going to give Paul a happy birthday
No,
shout
we're
out.
definitely not.
No
giving him a
happy birthday shout out on this channel.
We're not saying happy birthday
No,
at all to that.
that's a big one as well, 51.
51.
Yeah. I'm not far off. Decade.
This year you'll be 41.
Alright. Anyway, next.
Next.
Moving on.
So anyway, massive
birthday.
happy birthday to Paul Jackson. And if you haven't seen Paul Jackson's channel, make sure you head over there and have a little look. He's doing some really cool, fun stuff. So yeah, head over and have a little look at what he's doing. So happy birthday, Paul. So I've got a question from Karl-Hein Gertl. Now, if I've spelt or pronounced that incorrectly, I do
You probably
apologise,
have.
which I probably have. But anyway, Karl-Heinz always comments quite a lot, and he commented on our ball flight video that we put out this week. And what he was saying was, even though he's someone that maybe struggles with striking the ball on a consistent basis, which, you know, it's
Don't we all?
yeah. What he was saying was, instead of moving ball position around, which, you know, something we didn't really talk about in the video is ball position can change the way in which you can deliver the club, as in coming more from the in to out position or more out to in, with different ball positions moving them further back and further forward, so that can be a problem. However, what he's saying is, can we just change club? So can we just go, instead of using the 7-iron and putting the ball position back to go lower or forward to go higher, could you just change the loft? Yeah. Could you go into an 8-iron to go higher? Could you go into a 6-iron to go lower? So I thought we would actually just cover that today.
Cool.
And just quickly run through it, a little experiment just to see what's happening from there, and you're going to hit the shots. So
cool.
Are you warmed up?
No.
Happy? Okay, let's get it.
Happy, but not warmed up.
Right, let's go normal 8-iron to kick us off with then.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And how far would you say that you normally do hit your 8-iron? If your carry with your 7-iron was about 158, which is what you had on the previous video that we did on this, how far do you reckon you're...
7-8 yards less, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're kind of looking between a 7-8 yard gap?
Yeah,
okay.
Ideally.
Okay. Right, let's just have a little look at what you got out of that shot.
Yeah.
So we're comparing the high shot with your 7-iron that you had in the previous video, comparing it to the current 8-iron.
Yeah.
So the high shot with a 7-iron was ball position forward, trying to feel like you're lofting it up a little bit to try and hit the shot. If we then, and then the normal 8-iron is when ball position's in the same spot as what it would be, let's say, with your 7-iron.
Yeah.
And let's see what difference in numbers. So your normal 7-iron numbers are 158 carry, spinning it at 6.2, 39 yards high on an average on a peak, all right?
Yep.
And then your high 7-iron is 152, so you dropped a few yards, 6 yards, so that's about right. Going 41 yards high, so you've gained a couple of yards, spinning it at 6.5, so you've gained a fraction more spin.
Yeah.
Okay? If we then compare that to what you're getting out of your current 8-iron, kind of in some ways what I kind of expected, you're actually only gaining, well, you've gone up to 35 yards high.
Yeah.
You're 6.7 in the spin, so you've got a little bit more spin out of your 8-iron, and you're 147. So you've possibly lost a couple of yards. You're not getting the height as much, and you're spinning it a fraction more.
Yeah, which you'd expect.
Which is what you'd expect, because you've got more loft, but you've got a steeper angle of attack down. Because the ball position is slightly further forward, you can sweep up on it more, which then brings the spin loft down, which then ultimately brings the spin down. So the ball will probably flight through the air a little bit more. So two slightly different. You're basically hitting one that's going higher with a bit more spin, and the other one that's going fractionally higher but with lower spin.
Yeah.
So one's gonna control a little bit better maybe in the wind than the other one is. 6-iron then, normal ball position. Decent strike to get you going with. Right, let's look at the numbers of that one then, Bernie. So recap on your 7-iron numbers, ball position slightly further back, trying to hit that low punchy one. You're 27 yards high.
Okay.
You're carrying at 166. And you're spinning it at 6.2, 6.3 nearly. Yep. So back foot, you've got to think you're going to be steepening out that angle of attack, so potential to increase that spin loft a little bit, which will rev the ball up a fraction. But if we compare it to what you hit normally with your 6-iron, you are 5-1 in the spin. So your spin is dropped right down because, again, think about where his ball position is. It's slightly further forward than ball position back. Your delivery of loft might be just a fraction more, but ultimately, because you're sweeping it a fraction, you're taking that spin off the ball. You're peaking at 37 yards high, so you're higher. So you're not getting that penetrating low flight that you would get out of the back foot type of shot, but you are carrying it 166. So it'd be interesting to see how those two balls actually reacted when Leicester's on the golf course into wind situation. What do you think? What do you think is going to work? I mean, you got to think one's a lot higher than the other.
Obviously, if it's wind dependent, I'd play the lower shot, keep it down. I mean, that's what I used to do when I played a lot of links golf. All our county stuff was always on top links golf courses. You had to play that shot. It's not a shot that really worried me because I used to practice it a lot, just because of the fact that you didn't want to be getting the ball in the air.
Absolutely,
You wanted it coming in low, not a lot of spin, and running up towards the pin.
All warmed up now?
All warmed up,
Hit a few shots.
Enjoy that,
You enjoy that?
Get the blood flowing.
So, interesting. What I think to take from that is obviously, number one, it's one day to the next day with Leicester in his striking performances. So, the other thing you have to be really aware of is that you're going to change. So the numbers that we hit and things like that, the body changes, the speed changes, all of those
We videoed, that video was done, September?
A while ago, it was done a while ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. But what I think is important with that is that even though there are different flights and heights and spins and all of those things that you get from those different clubs and different ball positions and all of those sorts of things that you've seen, if you haven't seen that video, we'll just pop it up here. Actually, I'll just better get everyone to look at that. But what I think that you can take from that is that there are. What I find exciting about that is that there's loads of different shots. That you're delivering the same type of yardage, but you're getting there in a slightly different way. And I think that what you learn over time, and this is where your experimenting comes in on the range and on the golf course, is that there's many different ways of getting from A to B.
Of course there is.
And you've got to hone your skill set, make that a skill to learn how you can control the ball with different types of shots and clubs, And
I think that's one of the things that's missing from modern golf, in my opinion. Shot making. And I would like to see more of that.
Well, you might see a bit more of that soon, Benny. All this rollback stuff and all of that. But I think there's some really good stuff to take from that as just an offshoot from that video.
Yeah, hopefully that helps explain the reasons for doing different things.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Right, I've got one question for you to finish off with.
Okay. And
this is from Adam Perry83 on Instagram, who asked this when we were asking questions with Pete for this week. But this one didn't make the shortlist, so I've brought it into this one here because I thought it was quite an interesting one. As a handicap golfer, what should I practice more to bring the handicap down? Driver, irons, or putting?
Do you know what his handicap is?
No, don't know what it is.
Okay. I would, me personally, if I'm answering this question, I would say if he's a very high handicapper, then improve his putting.
Okay.
That's what I would do. If he holds one putt extra around, then he's going to knock a shot off, isn't he? If he holds two putts, it's two shots. As he's getting slightly better, the tee shot's the most important bit in golf.
Okay.
In my opinion.
For me, I think he's missed it on there. Driver, irons, and putter. For me, it's wedges.
Okay.
So when we were younger, and Neil was our head pro. So Neil Holman was our head pro at Churston Golf Club, and he was a really good golfer, and he played a little bit of England golf as a youngster, and he was a good professional within the region and things like that. And as kids, we kind of really looked up to him as one of those good players, which is great.
We wanted to get to his level, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he said to me one day, we were at the range, practice ground, and I was picking his brain, and he said, Dan, he said, you need to get better. If you want to get below that 6 handicap, I think I was off, or was I like 9? Maybe I was 9 handicap, and anyway, literally within a month, I dropped from 9 to 5. And what I did, he said to me, Dan, just all I want you to practice for a couple of months is from 100 yards in. Just keep hitting wedge shots, keep hitting numbers, keep hitting to positions, hit it to 80 yards, hit it to 60 yards, hit it to 70 yards, hit those positions. And I dialed my wedges in, and my handicap went, phew, straight down. So if there was anything I could share with anybody, it is get very good from 100 yards in. Make it, I've played in Pro-Ams where people miss greens from 100 yards. I've missed a green from 100 yards. Did it at Parling Hemvig. Luckily I chipped in after, but get really good from those yardages. Get your strike good, get your distance control really, really well from 100 yards in.
It's an interesting question, isn't it?
Massively
I would say it depends on the individual as well.
Of course it does.
I mean, if he's hitting 3 or 4 shots out of bounds around off the tee,
that's
help. A massive thing. If he's
analyze the game.
Analyse your game and look at what sort of weaknesses you have and try and get it all to the same level, isn't it? So I mean, that's what I would say. I mean, people tend to. I mean, I do it. Tend to avoid practicing the things they're not good at.
Well, they
don't enjoy. They practice the things they enjoy, don't they? If you're a good iron player, you'll see someone striping iron. Yeah. They can't chip. They avoid going on the chipping green, don't they? That's what happens. Agree. Yeah. So make your practice specific for what you need, really.
Agree. So one last thing that I want to mention is I have just been having a good chat with Graham Ruth, who helps us out with getting our travel and all of that side of things. And we are looking to put on a coaching trip.
Cool.
And we are looking abroad. And it's at the end of the year. So there will be an announcement on that when it comes out with all the details and how Graham's putting that all together for us right now. But there will be an announcement of that. But to me, it's just something to look forward to. Like an opportunity to get out and do some coaching with people in the sunshine when it's not such good weather here. That to me is something, I think we all need something good to look forward to and for this year, and
so it could be any time between September and July.
We're looking at November is when we're looking at. So we'll announce that at some stage. So there will be 1 or 2 of those trips coming up hopefully soon. So I think that's it for our Sunday show.
Ideal.
Thank you very much everybody for taking the time to come and watch our Sunday show, and hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you next Sunday.